In this video, I highlight and showcase 6 of the best 3-row midsize SUVs on the market today. With competition so fierce, every manufacturer is looking to up each other with features, pricing, and styling, with refreshes and redesigns yearly. So what are the best midsize SUVs in 2020? Keep watching and find out. Number 1. Hyundai Palisade. The Hyundai Palisade is a large 3-row SUV that pretty much does everything well and has an interior that rivals even luxury SUVs. On the outside, the Palisade has a futuristic and curvy look with a tall roof and big windows. The looks is subjective. There are some people who love it and there are some people who hate it. Inside, it's hard to argue the elegant looking cabin with the large infotainment screen in the middle. The Nappa leather seats on the upper trims feel great and looks good, and there's plenty of room in the second and third row. There's also plenty of cargo room even behind the third row. The Palisade has more available features than all other midsize SUVs in this segment, including its sibling, the Kia Telluride. Features such as power folding third row seats, digital gauge cluster, push button shifting, and remote start are some things that you'll find in the Palisade, but not in the Telluride. Heads-up display, 360 view, heated and ventilated seats, wireless charging are available. And features such as ventilated second row seats and self-leveling rear suspension are also available, and both are extremely rare for this segment. On the road, the Palisade drives like a dream, one of the best throttle responses I've ever felt in an SUV. The Palisade never felt underpowered nor bogged down at any speed either. The Palisade also provided fantastic steering input with the right amount of weight and precision. You definitely sit high up with a commanding view of the road, and inside the cabin, it is super quiet. Quite honestly, it's hard to find faults with the Hyundai Palisade. Number 2. Kia Telluride. The Kia Telluride shares the same platform, engine, transmission, infotainment setup, and many other things from the Palisade, and that is why it is an excellent SUV. However, it's not all the same, and some may prefer the Telluride over the Palisade. Starting with the exterior looks, the Telluride is bolder and more masculine compared to the Palisade, and the orange daytime running lights really stands out. Inside the cabin, Telluride looks like an Audi with the use of aluminum all over the place, including the steering wheel and of course on the dash. Everywhere you can feel is covered with soft plastic or soft leather, and the overall design is fantastic. It's nice to see a normal shifter and not some push button style shifter such as in the Palisade. And the Telluride's third row pull straps is actually much faster to use than the Palisade's electronic folding third row seats. The space inside is enormous, and it's hard to find any other SUV with a midsize segment that offers this much room. Only the Pilot and Palisade is comparable. As for tech, the Telluride pretty much has it all. Climate control, sunshades, ventilated and heated front and rear seats, dual sunroofs, heads-up display, 360 view, and the list goes on and on. Also, self-leveling rear suspension is available. During my drive, I noticed the Telluride having heavy steering, which I really enjoyed. It is heavier than the Palisade. I also noticed a subtle throaty exhaust note inside the cabin during my drive. No other midsize SUV I drove outside of performance variants like SRT models provided an enjoyable exhaust note like the Telluride. I really liked it. The Telluride, in my opinion, is more of a driver's SUV compared to the Palisade. Throttle response and braking were also very good. The one curious feature missing from the Telluride is remote start feature on the key fob. Not sure why this small thing was removed. Number 3. Toyota Highlander. The new Toyota Highlander has been redesigned for 2020 and now has been updated with all the bells and whistles to keep up with the competition. The outside has a much rounder look than the previous generation, and overall, the Highlander grew a couple inches in length. Not everyone is sold on the outside, however, as many have commented how they like the exterior of the 2019 model better. However, no one argues that the new cabin inside is worse than the previous generation. And that's because the new cabin is light years ahead of the last generation with its quality, its design, and of course the available 13-inch infotainment screen that's proudly displayed in the middle. It is a very bright, responsive touchscreen and works well with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and this is one of the things that make the new Highlander much better than the previous generation. Updated features like heads-up display, bird's eye view, panoramic sunroof, wireless charging, ventilated seats are now all available. There's plenty of room in the second row seats, but the third row is kind of tight, especially with adults. Due to the increased length, cargo room has increased, but still pales in comparison to some of the others in this class. During my drive, I noticed the Highlander provides great visibility, great acceleration, and the overall feel of the SUV is smaller than the Telluride and Palisade, which is a good thing for some. The Highlander is one of the few SUVs that offer hybrid trims, which is unmatched in fuel economy, but they do sacrifice some power. Toyotas in general have great resale value due to its reputation for longevity and reliability. It's no different with the Highlander. Number 4, Subaru Ascent. The Subaru Ascent is a great 3-row SUV that offers tremendous value compared to its peers due to its lower starting price. On the outside, the design and look is pure Subaru and has a good profile with rugged cladding all over. Inside, the dash is populated with 2 screens and it looks very similar to the other SUVs from Subaru's lineup. The top screen displays some great info about your Ascent, and the Starlink infotainment system is decent. However, the interface trails its competitors and the interface and resolution is a bit dated. Certain parts of the cabin also look like they don't belong. Features such as ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, panoramic sunroof are all available, and EyeSight driver assistant features are all standard. Symmetrical all-wheel drive is also standard on all trim levels. However, features like heads-up display and wireless charging are not available. On the upper trims, beautiful Nappa leather covers the seats and provide really good contrast with the dash. There is also plenty of room in the second row, and there is easy access to the third row. There's also plenty of USB ports throughout the whole cabin, and in total you get 19 cup holders. During my drive, I liked the torque from the turbo engine. It made the Ascent feel lively. The ride is also quiet and comfortable, and like the Highlander, it drove like a smaller SUV. However, the engine was loud under acceleration, and the CVT didn't feel as crisp as others in this segment. Number 5, Mazda CX-9. Despite being out for a few years, the CX-9 is arguably the best looking SUV in this segment due to its elegant curvy lines combined with the athletic stance. Inside the cabin, the use of aluminum on the door handles, panels, vents, and the piano black trim makes the CX-9 feel like a luxury vehicle. The large pop-out screen on the dash is easy to use due to the combination of the dial, quick navigation buttons, and touch. However, the 9-inch size is smaller than its peers and it also has a lower resolution. The info screen in the gauge cluster is also nice and cleverly hidden as an analog speedometer. With the CX-9, you have features such as 360 view camera, ventilated and heated seats, active driver assistant features. They are all standard. But features like panoramic sunroof is not available. On upper trims, the inside is filled with Nappa leather seats and captain chairs, and there is a good amount of room in the second row. Third row space is tight, similar to the Highlander and Ascent, and should really be reserved for kids or for emergencies for adults. During my drive, the CX-9 felt nimble and drove like a much smaller SUV. The sport suspension felt good around the corners and on smooth roads. However, they were a tad bumpy on roads that were less than perfect. The steering is as good as it comes. It's ultra precise and made me feel like I was in control of the SUV. I felt the turbo engine also did a good job getting the CX-9 up to speed, although it still didn't feel as quick as some of its peers, nor as fast as CX-5 with the same engine. Number 6. Honda Pilot. The Honda Pilot is the jack-of-all-trades SUV. It does so many things well, but doesn't really master any one thing. The outside has a neutral look, big and curvy. It doesn't look bad, but doesn't look nearly as good as, say, the CX-9 or the Telluride. Inside, the cabin has a modern dash design, and a touchscreen, climate control, as well as the center console are all nicely designed. The interface to the infotainment screen and the info screen in the gauge cluster work well and gets the job done. However, again, they don't look as nice as some of the others in this class. Features such as heated captain chairs, heated and ventilated front seats, panoramic sunroof, wireless charging are available, but almost all these features are exclusive to the highest trim levels, the Elite and Black Edition. Features such as heads-up display and 360 view camera system is not available. As for space, there's plenty of it, as Pilot is one of the biggest midsize SUV there is. There is a ton of room in the first, second, and even in the third row. Adults can fit in the third row comfortably. During my drive, the Pilot's size was definitely noticeable, and that's not all bad. The higher seating position and commanding view of the drive were both big pluses. The cabin is quiet, and the suspension provided a confident and comfortable ride. Both steering and braking were okay, but didn't feel as precise nor as weighted as others in this class. The V6 made it to the 9-speed transmission, did a good job hauling the Pilot around, and acceleration was never an issue. So there you have it, the 6 best 3-row midsize SUVs on the market today. Which one is for you? Are you looking for the latest and greatest with the Palisade and the Telluride, or the most dependable and most fuel efficient such as the Highlander? Or maybe the style of the CX-9 attracts you the most? Or the terrific value that you get with the Subaru Ascent and the Honda Pilot? Make sure you leave your thoughts below. By the way, if you want to see my full review videos on any or all 6 of these SUVs, check out driversonlyrankings.com to see them and to see my other review videos. Thanks for watching, hit the like and subscribe to the channel, and check out these other videos.